Hello everybody and welcome back to my ZAWA series. My name is Tinukin and what you see behind me is a new area I've been working on. So we are here next to the overpass on the other side from the gas station, and over here you can see the historical town center up on the hill. So just as an orientation of where we are. And yeah, what we have here right now is basically a parking lot with a lot of capybaras and 2 otters, and those are the animals that I'll be focusing on today. And while I was working on this area and creating the layout over there that I will explain in just a little bit, all these capybaras spawned here, and I started giving them name tags. But since they kept wandering off all the time, I just tied them all up here. Now they're all looking at me like that, but yeah, soon you will have a really great place to move into. And honestly, I am really jealous of the place that I'm going to build for you, because in real life, it's been really hot this summer. I couldn't stop but think about water parks, and that's what I want to build here. And this is actually from the area it covers, I think, the biggest single build that I have built so far. So far it was the construction site over here that was the biggest, and now it's this. This is even bigger, I think. So yeah, I really hope that I haven't bitten off more than I can chew. Because unfortunately, some of you may have heard that the ZAWA server that I am playing on is going to be reset soon. We don't know exactly when, just that it's going to happen sometime in August. And so I really want to finish up some things before that, and I hope I can get it done because, as you know, my builds on here are really involved, really detailed all the time, so it just takes some time to do all of that. And yeah, I really hope that I can get some things done. But of course, I haven't forgotten about the lions. So recently I was AFKing here just to wait until our lioness gave birth. And well, she gave birth to not 1, not 2, but 3 little lion cubs. Here's one of them, and isn't it adorable? I love it so much. Hi, little guy. You are a female. That's great. And so yeah, only one of the babies is hanging out with mom. I found that the other babies apparently like to hang out with their dad. And I think last I saw him, he was over here. Yes, and look at the babies just running behind him. That's so adorable. I love you, little guy, so much. Can you maybe stand still for a second so I can have a closer look at you? I feel like the dad is really protective of them and doesn't want me to get too close to them. Really feels that way. So here we have another female, and the other little guy is also a female. So we have 3 little lionesses, and I think that's a great addition to our pack of lions we have here. So when these babies are born, they are wild animals, and I think it's probably a good idea if I try to tame them before they are capable of ripping me to shreds. Oh, and I see that there's another otter in here. I should probably try and get him to the other place as well, so that later he can live in our water park. I think that's a much better place for you than in here with the lions. Dad is stepping in. Come on, I just want to feed your little baby. Don't you want that? Yeah, you love me. Ah. This is not so easy to do with all the grass that I'm constantly placing everywhere. Which I guess is totally my own fault. Ah, okay, these 2 are tame. Now let's just get little mama's girl. And that was fast. Perfect. So now we have, I think, 9 lions in our pack here, and I think that's a great number of lions. Now back to the water parks. I've been wanting to build something for the capybaras ever since they were added because they are so cool. Such amazing animals. I love them. And I know they like to go in the water. They also like to stay on land sometimes, so they need like a semi-aquatic territory, and I think a water park would be great for that. Same for the otters. I think they would love it there. And the water park is going to be really big, so I think we can fit more than 1 species in here. So I've created this layout for the water park. So this building here is going to house like the entrance and also the changing rooms and the showers. So this is going to be the pool that has lanes for people who want to swim lap. and also a deep part with diving platforms. And this is going to be more of the fun pool. I'm going to add some water slides here. Unfortunately, I think like one of those big windy water slides would be a really fun thing to have, but I feel like they don't really work out in Minecraft with the blockiness. I'm not sure I can make that work. So it's going to be like rather long straight slides probably, but those are fun too. And then here is going to be the kiddie pool. So this is going to be rather shallow. And then back here, I want to have some beach volleyball fields for people who want to do some like sporty activity wearing very little clothing. So this is the basic layout. And from the design perspective, I think I'm going to mostly wing it, to be honest. So let's talk about blocks. I think for the pools, for the tiles in the pools, the prismarine bricks are going to work really well. I don't have a lot of them, but luckily we can buy them at the shop. I'm just gonna buy a few of them, and then if I need more later, I can buy more. But of course, after years of not being cleaned, you won't be able to see the tiles everywhere. I think we need some kind of like muddy, grimy layer at the bottom. So maybe we'll use some of the actual mud blocks. Or what I also really like to do, because it's much easier to get, is use the dark oak mulch, which I think works kind of similarly. So we can mix, yeah, some of that, maybe some of the spruce mulch, maybe some of the peat as well. And then I also want to use, same as I did for the boats in the harbor, some green concrete for like that slimy algae layer. And then, of course, in some places, the tiles will have fallen off and revealed like the concrete below. So we're going to use some rocky stone and some normal stone for that. So I just spent a little time here standing in the water, turning my concrete powder into concrete. And then I realized, well, if I put water into the pools later anyway, I don't need to go through all that trouble. I think I can just place the concrete powder and let it turn into concrete then and there. So I think I'm going to start digging out the pools now a little bit. So especially this one is going to be quite deep on the one end. And then this one is going to be less deep. And of course, the kiddie pool is not going to be deep at all. But either way, all of these need to be dug up a little bit. Well, maybe this is going to be less work than I thought, because it turns out I have a terraformed cave underneath here. Okay, let's test out the block palette in this corner of the pool. So I have the prismarine bricks, and so the ground level is always one higher than how I terraform it, so that I have a layer where I can put the actual layer on it, which, as you know, I usually texture a lot, so that's why I do it that way. So yeah, right now the edge of the pool is sticking out a little bit, but I also want something around it. And usually around those pools, there is some concrete and not the grass directly, because otherwise everything will get extremely muddy very quickly. So I thought that for this, I would use the smooth stone mostly, and maybe interspersed with some normal stone like this for contrast, and some of the rocky stone as well. Then, as I said, in some places at the side of the pools, I also want some of the rocky stone, just so that it looks like the tiles have fallen off a little bit. It's not quite as good as it used to be. And I thought that maybe in some places I'm going to use a half slab like this, because we have to imagine if we fill these pools up with water, I think the water is going to go up to the rim, and we still want the animals to be able to get out of there somewhere. And so I've been thinking about how to do that. Actually, I'm not even sure how good the capybaras are at swimming. I know the otters are really good, and I would hope the capybaras, being like spending a lot of time in water, in nature as well, would also be able to deal with the water. Maybe we'll just put one into the pool later and test it out. And then on the ground of the pool, I'm going to add some of the green concrete, and then maybe the oak mulch, also kind of in like patches, as if like the dirt has collected in some places. I also brought some of the meadow dirt to mix in. And I think the deeper we go into this, the more dirt will have collected. That's kind of, I feel like it's going to sink down and be washed down towards the deepest part of the pool. In this one over here, I'm going to try to create a more gradual slope going into the pool, so I'm probably going to use some half slabs here. And so I'm going to need to use the prismarine brick half slabs because we don't have any dirt half slabs, unfortunately. So I think I probably want to have 2 layers of concrete around here, and then of course I need to decide where I want all the paths to go, and in between there I'll do my usual texturing with mostly grass and just a little bit of dirt and gravel and things like that in between. So all that texturing is fairly boring work, so I think it's probably best if we get out TinoChem again. Let's go! So as you could see, when I first did this pool, I forgot about the white stripes that I wanted to put in to designate the lanes for the swimmers. But I'm really glad with how this turned out. I think it looks quite good. And now I'm super tempted to put water in because I really want to know what it looks like with water. And also I feel like it's probably going to be quite satisfying. So you know the drill on putting water in. You need to do it layer by layer, and you can skip one block in between. But I think I'm gonna work on that myself, and I'll just get you back for the very satisfying part. All right, are you ready? Oh, beautiful. And we already have some corridoras that spawned in here, so that's great. I don't even need to take care of that. Oh, I could actually just name tag those if I can catch them. I think I got them. Okay, our pools are filled with water and it just makes me want to jump right in. It looks so welcoming. I hope our otters and capybaras feel the same way. Okay, next thing to build is the diving platform. And so I think we're going to need like a concrete tower thing. Kind of like this. And a ladder that goes up. But now the question is, so I want this to have different levels. So how do people get out at the different levels? I think I'm probably doing something like this. So you can get up here on this platform. Question is, should this be wider? Like this maybe? Yep, I think that's good. Then the next one will go to the other side. And then the top one will be in the center. And it goes out a little bit more because we don't want to hit the other diving boards when we jump down, don't we? So on the outside of these, I'm going to use these trapdoors to add as a railing so that people don't fall down. Safety is very important. That one is wrong. We take safety very seriously in this water park. And those steel trapdoors are perfect for this kind of thing. So now the only thing that's missing are the actual diving boards. And for that, I want to use those blue trapdoors because I think they work very well. So like this. Like this. And the last one will be even longer. I think this looks quite neat. Maybe those trapdoors are a little bit too much. I wish they were a little bit less intrusive. But I feel like the actual fences, since they would be sitting kind of in the middle of the air, I'm not sure how well that would work. So I think I'm going to leave it like that. Actually, that one diving board is coming out a bit too far since I already extended that platform. That's better. Let's try it out. Whee! Yeah, I'd say that's quite good. So the next thing I want to build is a big water slide. But as I said, I don't think the curvy one is going to work very well. I think that can work if you're working at a bigger scale than I do. But since I'm trying to make everything like Minecraft character sized, I don't think that would really work out. So what I'm thinking about is one of those long water slides that goes like up and down a little bit, but straight, and has like several lanes next to each other so you can race other people. I hope you know what I mean. I'm not sure if there's a term for that kind of water slide, but you should be able to recognize it at least as soon as I'm done with it. Otherwise, I've done something terribly wrong. So I need to choose some colors for that. And I'm thinking yellow, orange, light blue, and blue. And those are actually the colors that I have already available. But I won't be using too much of the concrete because that is very brightly colored, and we know that after like years of not being cared for, colors tend to like get a bit more muted. So I wanted to mix in some of the woods and just add a little bit of variation to the colors. And of course, if we use wood, we can use stairs as well, which is going to help a lot. Okay, let's start with one lane coming in here. So something like this for where the water slide arrives, and then we have a part where it goes up. Is that too steep if I go up directly like that, or should I add a slab first? I do think I want some slabs. So that's the shape that I want for the water slide. Now in between the lanes, I want to put white blocks. I thought about like making the barrier in between the lanes in the color of the lanes, but then I would have to use 2 blocks, and that just would look too chunky for my taste. So that's why I'm doing it in white, and I think that should look decent, I guess. So now I just need to go ahead, copy the lane 3 more times in the other colors we have, put the border in the middle, and then I'll be right back with you. Whee! It's not the fastest water slide, I guess. And of course, the slide won't have water in the end because this place doesn't have power. So the pumps can't work. But I wanted to try it out at least. And yeah, it works as a water slide, I guess. So that's the water slide done. Not completely, of course. You can see like it's still hanging in the air. But I still need to do a lot of things to this hillside anyway. So I will combine that with finishing the water slide. But that is something for the next episode. For today we are done because this is a very big build and I can't do all of that in one episode. So as always, thank you very much for watching. I always really appreciate everyone who takes the time to watch my videos. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I'm going to see you in the next one. Bye bye!